camera on, obviously. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Did you miss me? I missed you. So this week I wanted to discuss something I've always wanted to talk about outside of like friend groups and like on the internet. And it's the Bridgerton books. So I recently read these two, which is Romancing Mr. Bridgerton and When He Was Wicked, which is obviously Colin and Penelope and Francesca and Michael's love story. And I wanted to talk about a little bit about these books and how there was some like small differences in the TV show and how I feel like they might encourage you to read them. I guess, I don't know. I just wanted to talk about them. So in Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, this is obviously Penelope and Colin's love story. It's how they get together and their engagement and their marriage and all that stuff. I think something that I missed in both of these, the TV series and the book, is their wedding. I wish we saw more of their wedding. The TV show was so rushed, okay? I think that's something a lot of people have a lot of grievances with, is that their love story was so just, move along, here, there you go. Are you done? Are you done? Are you gonna stop asking us about it? That's what it felt like. Because in the first two seasons, I feel like we've had the big wedding things. Like, I know Daphne and Simon's wasn't all that, but we had their wedding, their engagement party, stuff like that. And the same with Kate and Anthony. Like, we didn't get to see their wedding. We just saw that, oh, they got married. Huh. And then with season 3, we saw her in her wedding dress and getting ready, and then they were, like, mad at each other the whole time. Huh? No, that's not my Colin. It's not my Colin. Snowing. And I feel like in the book, Penelope is even more angry about Cressida trying to take over the Lady Whistledown thing. Also, I thought that thing was just made for the TV show. I was like, oh my gosh, they changed that. That's so crazy. But in the book, it's very much in there. So I was like, I was not as shocked when it was revealed in here that Cressida was trying to take Lady Whistledown credit. And I think I loved their fights in this more because they're so much older in it and they're just talking to each other as like adults, and I feel like Colin isn't just talking down to Penelope half the time. And I know I could be getting a lot of this wrong just because because I had watched the TV show first and then I read the book, which I did that wrong, but I hadn't had any interest in reading the books until I watched that season, and people were like, that's so different from that box, and I was like, let me check. So the book for me was a lot better than the TV series, to be completely honest. Another thing that I feel like, because it was changed, it wasn't as severe. I don't know if that's the right word, but she's obviously older in the book, and she is totally content in her spinsterhood. She is totally fine in it. The only reason she's still around and she's still with her family is because she is waiting for Felicity to get married so that she can just be like with her family, know that her sister is okay and married and well off, so that she can just kind of like leave however much money she needs to so that her family will be fine, and then she can go and live off on her own and write Lady Whistledown doing whatever she wants. And I feel like that's lost in the TV series because she's so much younger, and obviously she's still 28 and still never had her first kiss, has never, and that's the same relevance in the TV show, but she's obviously younger. It's just, I feel like it just like lost some of it for me because I could relate to her more than the 21, I think, year old that Penelope is in the TV show. And because the actress is a lot older than that. Like, why didn't they just make her older? There's a lot of grievances I have with that season altogether. Again, they were so... that series, that season bit off more than they could chew. They were trying to shove so many freaking things into that season that they lost what the whole essence of Bridgerton was about. And I feel like Penelope and Colin got lost in the chaos. So we had a lot of good scenes with them, but half of the time it was them being like yelling at each other and not wanting to be together, and then him and Colin dismissing her, and then it's the next scene is literally Benedict getting it on with a widow. And it's like, huh? Why are we doing this? Why is this here? And then the next scene would literally be about, oh my gosh, I wish I could remember their name. I feel so bad I don't remember names, but I did not give a single about them in that series. I think overall, the book was better. The book was so much better than that season. I'm still going to go out and try and find The Duke and I, The Viscount Who Loved Me, and Benedict and Sophie's story because I want to read them. I don't know if I'm ever going to get to read Hyacinth and Gregory's story because I don't think we're going to get those seasons, unfortunately. Oh, and Eloise's. I might read hers, but I don't know if I will because I heard it's kind of, Unfortunately, might be really biased towards this, and I'm really scared about what this new season is going to do to Francesca and her story. But When He Was Wicked, this book, I read it so freaking fast. I read it so fast. This book was beautiful. This book was so, it was the perfect amount of romance and just processing grief and how you deal with it, and then also how you find love even in the darkest times. And something I really resonated with was how she discussed her infertility in this book, because she does have struggles with fertility. Spoilers from this point on, I guess. Francesca is married to John for several years, and when John eventually and unfortunately dies, she also loses the child that she conceived with him before he passed away. And so that's something she also has to deal with on her own, is losing her husband at such a young age and then also losing another child. So she's so strong, and she's so amazing, and she's so talented, and she's so elegant and poised in this book. Unfortunately, they did change Michael and made Michael into a female. So I don't know if they're actually going to go that route with Francesca's infertility and things like that. But I feel like that's such a big pivotal part of who she is in this book. So I'm kind of scared. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm kind of scared where they're going to go with that, because it's such a big part of the plot of her wanting children and her wanting to have a family. And something I really loved about this book a lot was Michael's genuine yearning for her. He's always secretly been in love with her. He's been in love with her since he first laid eyes on her, but that was when John was introducing her to him. So he's obviously kept these feelings buried deep down within him, because he knows that he just can never have her. And then when he does, he treats her so well and knows that he will never compare, or they'll never share the love that Francesca and John had, that their love is different and it'll never be anything but theirs. And it makes me so happy, because in the end they do struggle a little bit to have children as well. And Francesca has this beautiful conversation with her mother about motherhood and infertility. And then a few moments later in the book, you see that Francesca feels something change within her. And then in the epilogue, she does end up having children. It's such a lovely story, and I'm really kind of scared what they're gonna do. Not that I don't love the idea of them expanding and that Bridgerton can do stuff like that because it's such a successful and renowned TV show. It's just this, I really resonate with this book a lot. It made me cry, it made me laugh, it was the first time a romance book had made me feel so like it made me blush. It made me like kick up my feet and kind of like, you know, when you finish and you're like, can somebody see me reading this? You know what I mean? Like, it was such a good book. And I felt that same way with Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, because a lot of it was Colin. So I'm really scared of what they're going to do because of the huge differences I noticed in this book to the TV show. And knowing that they kind of just shoved the Michael and Francesca thing in our faces at the very end of that, of season 3. And next season isn't even about them. It's supposed to be about Benedict and Sophie. So I'm like, are they also just going to get shoved to the side and not be seen? Or are they going to take the criticism that they got from this last season and kind of just like leave Francesca on the side? Like, that's something that's really frustrating for me, because just make it, just, you have the source material, just use it. As I start to read more of these Bridgerton books, because I do want to read them all, because I do want to compare them to the TV show and things like that. But out of these 2 books, I feel like When He Was Wicked was my favorite, because I had nothing to compare it to yet. But I really did like Colin and Penelope in the story. Colin was so sweet. Penelope was so brilliant. And also in this book, When He Was Wicked, you can kind of see like little snippets of their story. I really don't know the order that these books came out in. I thought they came out in like the letter order. I guess that was just me making an assumption. But there's a ball that Francesca attends that coincides with the ball that Penelope and Colin have a little bit of like fun at, I guess you could say. And so they're kind of like intertwined, which I think is really cool. I do want to read all of them and kind of give my like rating on them all, because I really, really like this book series. And because the TV show is also coming out, I really think that'll be something that's really fun and intriguing for people to see. And also because they make such long gaps in between the seasons. And I feel like with this next season, they're going to split it up into 6 parts. And it's going to be like 1 episode every 6 weeks. And I know that's not what's going to happen. But this will kind of just give people something to feast upon while we're waiting for the new season. But those are just some very few of my thoughts on these 2 books. If y'all have any other things that you feel like I missed, or some other stuff that you've also noticed in the books that are differences, I would love to hear them, genuinely, because I'm in the Reddit clubs, I'm in the whatever. But if there's something you feel like I could also know about, please let me know, because I love these series so much and I can't wait to keep talking about them. Thank you guys so much for watching this. This was so much fun. I love doing these book review kind of things. They will be sprinkled in. It won't be everything that I talk about, but thank you guys so much for sticking around to hearing me rant about these silly little romance books. I am going to be bringing back shout out of the weeks. And so today I'm going to shout out my best friend Cassie and her husband Zach. Thank you guys so much. Y'all love my videos and this is just for you. Hey, it's me, V. Okay, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. I know it's so like the Hyacinth's and Gregory's story.